Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are so grateful to gather with you tonight. We wish we could be together in person, dancing and celebrating, but after a horrific year and 4 years that have felt like an uphill battle for our lives, it is a blessing and a joy to gather in any way that we can. And we are thrilled to celebrate last week's historic election. Our movement delivered for our country. Our communities, against the backdrop of suffering and loss, put every ounce of their organizing power into fighting for our democracy and ending the tyranny of the past 4 years, and we won. Tonight, we feel the power of possibility. We also feel the absence of dozens of Make the Road member leaders lost to COVID, and the pain from the continued killing and brutalization of Black people at the hands of law enforcement. And we stand tonight with the hundreds of thousands of workers who have lost jobs, especially the families who are struggling in their 9th month without a single penny of government relief.
The struggles of this year are on top of 4 years of the current administration's relentless attacks, deporting us, separating us from our families, silencing our dissent, and denying us justice. Yet, our communities have persisted. And so many of us have gone to great lengths to stand up for what is right. We have showed up for each other. We cared for each other in ways we couldn't have imagined 4 years ago and even earlier this year. Tonight, we celebrate a special group of special leaders. Tonight, we celebrate a special group who has stood up for justice and dignity in the face of extreme adversity. United We Dream's Cristina Jimenez and Grayson Martinez Rosas, Israel Rocha and the care team at New York City Health and Hospitals, Elmhurst, and family members of New York's impacted by police, Gwen Carr, Victoria Davis, the sister of Delron Small, Natasha Duncan, the sister of Chantel Davis, and Constance Malcolm, the mother of Molly Graham. Thank you to our honorees for your work. You're showing us the way forward.
This year, as we faced some of the bleakest moments, we were reminded also that we are not alone. Longtime allies and strangers alike stepped up like never before. Thanks to all of you, we have raised and distributed $4 million in cash aid to more than 6,000 families impacted horrifically by COVID-19. We seamlessly moved our programs online, including the urgent civic engagement work demanded by the most important election of our lifetime. In the midst of a pandemic, you helped us not just keep running, but lead increasingly bold and transformative campaigns. We could not be more grateful to each of you, and especially to our 2020 champions, our most generous donors. You enabled us to provide critical direct services, cash aid, and to lead on the city, state, and federal levels. We also want to take a moment to recognize the organizations and individuals who made this event our first and hopefully our last virtual gala possible. Thank you to all of those generous sponsors.
In addition to supporting our work, hundreds of you have stepped up in other ways. Allies and community members have volunteered at our food pantries, took groceries to people who could not leave their homes. Many more took to the streets alongside, masked and distanced, to protest police violence, demand protections for excluded workers, and push for rent relief for tenants. And you have made calls, sent texts, and even showed up in person on election day to insist on respect and dignity at the polls. Clearly, there's so much more work to do, but every act of kindness and protest and every generous gift has helped families survive and has given us hope. Gracias. Now we'll share a short video that highlights some of our work this year.
Find the student workers! Cancel the rent! Free them all!
9 out of 10 Latino immigrants suffered a job loss or are now worried about paying rent.
¡Unidos! ¡Jamás serán vencidos! ¡Trabajadores! ¡Excluidos! ¡Excluidos!
My name is Perla Silva and I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I have been a member at Make the Road New York for 2 years now. On July of 2018, when my parents were detained on military base and they were put into ICE detention center in Buffalo, New York, Make the Road New York was the only organization that was willing to take my parents' case. They were with them every step of the way. They were making sure that they were okay, that they were feeling safe. When they started the campaign Free the Silvas, it was thanks to them that, of course, the senator, the governor at that time, they were all able to take a look at what was going on. Ever since then, that's when I realized this is exactly what I wanted to be involved in. This is what I wanted to do. My parents, of course, were very grateful.
Yo me llamo María Poblano y yo soy miembro de Make the Road alrededor de 3 años. Hace 19 años que vivo en Corona, Queens. En la despensa de Queens vamos muchos voluntarios a distribuir la comida y hacemos amigos, conocemos más gente, estamos bien ahí para ayudarnos uno a los otros. Mi familia, mis amigos, ahora nos preocupamos porque dónde vamos a agarrar dinero para la renta. Mucha gente ahí estoy viendo que pide comida, lo de la escuela ahorita, entonces antes de la epidemia estaba un señor que también nos ayudaba mucho a cargar. Ese señor lo perdimos ahorita de la epidemia.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're becoming crushed under a tidal wave of unfathomable numbers.
Death toll now rising contain a dangerous surge in COVID-19 cases.
When my mother had all the symptoms of COVID-19, she was always told, like everyone else, at the very beginning of March, to stay home, to stay home. She was on the sofa. She couldn't breathe. I called 911. They were like, "Are you sure that she needs medical attention?" March 25th was the last day I saw my mother. She used her last words, her last breaths, and she cried to me, and it's devastating that her last words were, "They don't care about us. They put me in a corner. They forgot about me. I'm crying, I'm screaming, and nobody's coming to help me." And she said, "I keep crying for help, but nobody's helping me. Can you please call the hospital? Please, Perla, please tell them that I need help." And obviously, I didn't know how to explain it to her that I did call. I called multiple times, but they just did not answer. They were too busy. There was too many people dying. This pandemic definitely hit home. It devastated my entire family. It hit all of our immigrant families.
We have been fighting for justice for Eric Garner for, I don't know, the last 6 years. They took a man's life. My name is Keith. I'm from Brooklyn, and I've been with Make the Road for the past 5, 6, 7 years. It was like I was automatically inducted into YPP. I went to a school called Bushwick School for Social Justice, and even then I was greeted every morning with school safety agents as well as metal detectors and wands. I feel like I'm being criminalized when I should feel comfortable, I should feel safe, I should feel like a student. I actually do believe that the youth is our future, so ending the school to prison pipeline is one of the most impactful things I can do. Passing the Solutions Not Suspensions bill would be the first step forward in making that a reality. We were able to pass the Safer New York Act, which is a set of bills that provide police transparency as well as police accountability.
We all lost our jobs. We all lost a family member. We all got sick. We were put in the shadows. We weren't allowed to get medical attention. And we were very, very devastated. My mother, till her very last day, she worked. She worked physically, emotionally. She was always working.
Thank you. We could not do this work without you. Tremendous challenges remain, and we need your help. Your support enables us to keep families together and in their homes, to help young people and trans and queer youth thrive and pursue their dreams, to help families access healthcare and emergency food, to defend the rights of immigrants and working people in the courts, to teach English and run Know Your Rights trainings, and so much more. Yes, the election was a relief. Many of us feel like we can finally breathe again, but we cannot rest. We must lift up our full vision of respect and dignity in New York, in all of Make the Road states and across the country. This includes a just immigration reform for all undocumented people in this country, sweeping protections for workers and their families, an end to police violence and the school-to-prison pipeline. And as this pandemic continues to rage across the country, we will demand a just recovery for all, and we will continue to provide emergency relief for our communities. We can put our state and country on track to become places that honor the humanity of every person. But it is up to all of us. Please stand with us and donate now. We will pause briefly to allow you to make your gift. And throughout the evening, there will be other opportunities to give if you're inspired by what you see and hear. We are grateful for every contribution.
Hello, everyone. My name is Arlenis Morela. I'm the Chief of Staff for Make the Road New York. We will now honor the lives of the people we lost to COVID-19. 86 Make the Road New York member leaders have died since the pandemic began, and each one is representing the birds you see. Make the Road's communities, immigrant and working class, Black and Brown and transgender, have been especially hard hit in New York and across the country and the world. We continue to lose so many lives to this pandemic. We know that many of you lost people who are dear to you. People, please use the chat box to share the names of friends, family, colleagues, and comrades who died this year, so that we can hold them in our thoughts. If you receive a lantern from us, or if you have a candle nearby, join us in lighting it as we take this moment to remember our caminantes, all of those who walk with us. We remember our dear caminantes, and we will continue fighting to address the deep inequalities in our city and country that led to their death. Make the Road will continue to support families impacted by COVID-19, including those who cannot afford burial or cremation costs for family members, through our In Memoriam Fund and Emergency Cash Aid program. If you would like to donate in our Caminantes honor or in memory of someone you have lost, we will pause briefly so you may donate below. Thank you for your support. Please continue to take care of yourself and your loved ones.
My name is Theo Shiro, and I'm Deputy Director of Make the Road New York. It is my privilege to present the Dignity Award to Israel Rocha and the care team at Elmhurst Hospital. In a country where our healthcare system often puts money first, Elmhurst Hospital puts people first, providing our communities with high-quality, compassionate care, never turning anyone away. We have partnered with Elmhurst under Israel's leadership on pressing community health issues, from working to tackle chronic asthma to fighting federal attacks like public charge that stand to worsen our people's access to care. As the virus raged through New York this past spring, the heroes at Elmhurst worked 24/7 to provide dignified care in the epicenter of the epicenter. They were on the phone with us daily, determining how to provide the best possible care to community members. We are truly grateful for their service and honored to call them allies. Joined by our Director of Health Programs, Becca Telzak, I now present the Dignity Award to Israel Rocha, CEO of Elmhurst Hospital, Dr. Alfredo Astua, Chief of Pulmonary Medicine, Luz Munoz, Associate Director of Nursing, and Dr. Philip Fairweather, Associate Director of Emergency Medicine.
Thank you so much, Theo and Becca and the entire Make the Road family. We are so honored that you have decided to share this award with the brave and strong healthcare team here at Elmhurst Hospital. I want to start by saying thank you so much on behalf of all of our 4,000 employees. We are truly very honored that you would choose to give us the award and to be able to share it here with us. I also want to recognize the wonderful work that Make the Road does during those moments when it was difficult and we were caring for so many patients. The support that Make the Road had, that their families had, that our community had for our hospital made all the difference in allowing us to be able to make a measurable difference in the lives of the patients that were confronting an unprecedented disease and pandemic. And without your help, without your assistance, we wouldn't be able to be here today where we find ourselves being able to move forward and to be able to pioneer new innovations in helping to hopefully put down COVID permanently.
We all have seen the images, on the news. I know the world has really seen the images of Elmhurst Hospital and how you all were responding heroically to the pandemic. You really are true heroes, and I and Make the Road and our members applaud you for everything you have done. And we're really, want to hear a little bit more about what this experience has been like for you, since during the pandemic. And at Make the Road, we've also learned a lot about how to respond in this moment, right? Like how we can pivot and do our work even in these trying circumstances. So also interested in knowing kind of what you've learned, right? And about how to best serve our communities, in these tough times.
For me, I have to say that I really appreciated and understood and observed true heroism among, the people with whom I worked, and really each of us represent or are representatives of an incredible group of people who realized every day that they came to work with the potential of putting themselves at some risk, that they came to work because they really wanted to do and provide a care that they were best suited to do and to provide. I'll say that one of the important things that really I learned this year is just how important, thoughtful, strong, compassionate leadership is. And I have to just say that Mr. Rocha has really been an exemplary leader in this regard. I really cannot say enough about how it mattered to all of us that he was there and he was truly on the front lines with us throughout this entire time.
In this moment, when everybody else was scared of what COVID meant, patients were absolutely safe as they could be in our hospital because they brought to bear the best that medicine had anywhere at the time. And Elmhurst not only took care of everyone with world-leading medicine, they were leading that medicine for the entire country. They were every day finding new ways to prone patients, to bring medications, to bring trials, to push things that we did not even know to do at the time. It would start in the morning one day, and by the evening they had fixed 10 things that we didn't know how to do. And I would say that the team in front of you, from Dr. Stewart to Dr. Fairweather to Ms. Munoz to all of the countless members of our team, what they did was extraordinary.
I want to turn it over now to Becca Telzak, who's going to ask some final questions.
Hi, it's a real honor to be here with you all tonight. I live actually a few blocks away from Elmhurst Hospital, and I remember kind of at the time, the beginning of the pandemic, just hearing the constant sound of sirens in our neighborhood over and over and over again, and how heartbreaking that was to really hear. But I knew those ambulances were headed to Elmhurst, and I also had complete trust in you all and the care team and the staff at Elmhurst Hospital, knowing that you were really taking care of our communities during this time and doing everything you possibly could to address this horrific moment that we've been in since the beginning of the year. We've talked a lot about the tragedy we've seen the past few months in our communities, but what is giving you all hope right now? What's inspiring you at the moment?
I can start that. What is giving us hope? Hope, the first, a wish that the second wave does not hit us and skip us. New York is doing a little better than the rest of the country. But the second thing is we learn in the hard way. And we are more ready, we are more prepared to serve our community. The community depends on us. And I think that is the hope. We are more ready, we are more prepared, to serve them and to give 110% as we did before. But we are here for them. And that's the most important thing for me is we're here to serve our community. We're here to work, hard and harder to ensure that the health care that they need is given to them.
So, what gives me hope is the ongoing relentless work that the community is doing, the organizations that are doing, that my colleagues are doing, that my leadership is doing. And really on a personal note, the support that I get from my family. So it's an overwhelming response that everyone has given to an overwhelming and unprecedented situation.
In this moment of a clear crisis, Elmhurst really stepped up and supported our members in a really heroic way. And we really honor and appreciate everything you all have done over the years and also in this moment. And so thank you for everything from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate everything you all have been doing.
And we echo those sentiments right back to you on behalf of our care team. When our patients need help, when they don't know where to go, and when they need assistance, Make the Road is always the first one there to be willing to help. And so thank you for everything you do for our patients and for being the organization that you are and the mission that you bring to life in such a meaningful way for those that you serve. Make the Road truly is making the road better for everyone that they serve. Thank you for that.
Good evening. My name is Jose Lopez, and I am the Deputy Director of Make the Road New York. This summer, George Floyd's murder sparked a national uprising against police brutality, bringing widespread attention to the systemic injustice and racial inequity that we have been fighting for decades. We remember and fight for justice for Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Tony McDade, and George Floyd. We also remember and fight for justice for those murdered by law enforcement here in New York: Chantel Davis, Eric Garner, Ramarley Graham, and Delron Small. This year's reinvigorated fight led to victories, including passage of the Safer New York Act. Now, we must stand together with our allies in calling for significant cuts to the NYPD's bloated budget. To achieve justice, we must divest from abusive policing on our streets and in our schools and invest in public health, infrastructure, services, and support. Our work in this area and so many others is having a real impact. If you want to be part of it, we will pause briefly so you can move the gift now. Thank you for your support. Long road ahead. Our next honorees have dedicated their lives to building a movement that demands an end to police violence and systemic racism. These women have channeled their grief into amazing activism, speaking truth to power and driving campaigns that have won safer streets for communities of color. They have led our movement in winning stronger protection of killings by police, the repeal of legislation that obscured police misconduct, and more. Our movement takes strength from their unwavering commitment to building a better world. I am honored to present the Power Award to Gwen Carr, Victoria Davis, Natasha Duncan, and Constance Malcolm.
Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to know that I was thought of to be honored. Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to know that I was thought of to be honored and presented with this award. I would try to make a platform for others, for people of color, for communities of color. And I would like to stand up for justice and hold the lawmakers' feet to the fire. This is such an honor to receive this. And it gives me great pleasure that they thought me worthy of getting this award.
Aww.
And I will do everything in my power to hold the lawmakers accountable, to uplift my family, to uplift other families, and to make an impact on this nation. The families who have been impacted like myself, we are all band together to try to make this a better place for us to live. And I think that we can do it because I think that we are women of strength. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ms. Carr, for being here tonight and for your fight and for your everything. Thank you so much. Good evening. My name is Adilka, and I am a lead organizer within the Youth Power Project at Make the Road New York, and I am super excited to be here tonight. And next, I have the utmost pleasure of introducing my sister in struggle, the founder of Sisters of Justice and the sister of Delron Small, Victoria Davis.
I am beyond ecstatic and humbled to receive this award. I absolutely love it. I love all of the words that are on it. And it definitely means a whole lot to me because my work continues and my work started with a lot of organizations, including Make the Road. And two of the first people that I met at Make the Road was Addie and Darian, and I hold them near to and dear to my heart because they've stuck by me, they've stuck by Delron, and they've continued to fight. And so anything Make the Road related is what I'm all about. Building communities and building safer communities, allowing people to feel safe in community is something that I will continue to fight for, even beyond Delron and his death. So his legacy will continue. I am just honored to be able to continue the work and to have amazing people alongside me and my family as we continue to do work for Delron, but also as we continue to do work in other areas and as we continue to build community. So thank you, Make the Road, and thank you for making us part of your community and part of your family.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Victoria, for your beautiful words, for sharing your beautiful children with us, and for really, you allowed us into your family. So thank you so much. Now I have the great honor of introducing Natasha Duncan, who is a Justice Committee member and the sister of Chantel Davis. Welcome, Natasha.
Hi everyone. So as you said, Adilka, I am Natasha Duncan, the eldest sister of Chantel Davis, and I am really overwhelmed right now. Like I'm holding back the tears, honestly. So just give me a moment, please. I'm smiling and I'm just trying not to tear up because you know, this is not something that families get into to really be rewarded for. It's a hard struggle, and I am so grateful that Make the Road saw it fit to give us a little bit more hope and just appreciate the fight that we're trying to prevent other families from going through. My sister was murdered 8 years ago. There's tons of families that was before me. There's families that came after me. And to be in this fight for this long, something that I didn't plan on. I was thrown into it, but now becoming a advocate for my community, and just trying to get nobody else to come in this boat. Like we are sinking, but we want to prevent anybody else from having to deal with what we went through. And if we do have people coming into this boat, we want to make sure we can support them. So for you at Make the Road, I really thank you. I appreciate you so much. And I just can't wait to just see what else we have in the near future. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Also holding back the tears, also feeling all the feels, wishing I was hugging on everyone. But thank you for your courage and your guidance and your love, and for everything. And the smile, that smile makes me smile. It's a lot of love. And finally, I have also the utmost honor of introducing Mama Constance. That's what we call her out here in YPP. Mama Constance is also a member of the Justice Committee and is the mother of Marley Graham. So welcome, Constance.
Hi, everyone. My name is Constance Malcolm. I'm the mother for Marley Graham. I just want to say to Make the Roads and all the other youths and organization that I work with, I want to say thank you. We really appreciate all the work you've been doing, helping the families, when we have to really go out in the street and go to Albany, wherever we have to go to get law passed. I want to thank Make the Roads because these are young kids and they could be anywhere doing any, other things, but they choose to make a difference in their community. And I have the most respect for them. And getting this award today, it just made my day. You have little birds flying, and when I work with Make the Roads, that's how they make me feel. Like there's no holding back. I can fly, and I'm free.
I think that of justice, of course, is what we're looking for, but mainly it's accountability and transparency. We have to demand that of the police department because we as Black women, as Black mothers and Black sisters and, just people of color, we are not getting that. Even with the laws passed, they tried to sidestep the laws, the 50A law. So now we must band together to make sure that these things happen. And until these things happen, we are not going to rest. we're going to fight them tooth and nail.
We have to make sure we hold some of these elected officials accountable. Because this is where the law is being made, and we have to make sure. We just went through election and they wanted our votes so bad. So now it's our turn to hold them accountable. They beg for these votes, and we want to make sure they do what's necessary to get these laws passed, because our children are the future. And you see every day our kids are dying, our loved ones are dying, and there's no accountability. So we have to make sure accountability along with transparency, we receive that, because too many families out here are crying for justice and we never get justice. We need a change.
We also need to live in a world where we feel where everyone is equal. Like the narrative now is like equity, but it doesn't erase like racism or anything like that. Like we need to fight until we're in a world where everyone could feel free and just be equal.
I was kind of dreamed that Delron's children would be like the young people that I met. And so I introduced them and I told them, I tell everybody about the Make the Road young people. Throughout the summer, a lot of times people have asked, what exactly are people looking for when they use the hashtag or they say the words Black Lives Matter? And my response is usually, when people say Black Lives Matter, we're not speaking about the organization. We're saying that Black Lives Matter, right? So we're not asking, we're not looking to persuade anyone into believing that Black Lives Matter. What we're saying is Black lives absolutely matter, and this is what it looks like. And so this past summer, all of the young people being out in the street, all of the people who delved into policy work and just any and all tactics was the expression of Black Lives Matter. And this is what it looks like, and this is how it will look moving forward.
Good evening, everyone.
Sorry for the extra pause. We have been fighting every day the past 4 years to preserve our democracy. When the Trump administration tried to include a citizenship question on the census to exclude undocumented people, we took our fight to the Supreme Court, and we won. On Long Island, we sued the town of Islip. For decades, their at-large voting system had denied Latinx representation in local government. We won. Islip settled, acknowledging that the system violated the Voting Rights Act. We mobilized our communities in New York and across our sister states, especially in Pennsylvania and Nevada, with the other Make the Road family of organizations. Together, we reached millions of voters across 5 states. Just last night, Senator Bernie Sanders sent us an incredible message of gratitude to the members of Make the Road New York and to our national political arm, Make the Road Action. We are going to share it for the first time with our members and supporters here right now.
Let me thank Make the Road for all of the great work you have done, and to express an enormous amount of pride in that I was able to work with you, and I look forward to working with you in the future, because you are a great organization. And I want to thank you for reaching out to people who have been hurt so badly economically and in terms of healthcare because of this awful pandemic. You show the kind of humanity that this whole country should be showing. And furthermore, I just want to thank you for the critical work that you did in the battleground states during this election. The truth of the matter is, and I know that some of our more conservative friends will not acknowledge it, but the truth of the matter is that Biden will be going to the White House because of what grassroots America did in this election. We were the ones, you were the ones, who knocked on doors, who registered voters, who did virtual rallies, who did everything possible to increase voter turnout, which resulted in a victory for Biden. Now, our more conservative friends won't acknowledge that, but that is the simple truth. But having said that, and having won this enormously important victory, the most important election, in my view, in the modern history of America, because you had a president who was not only wrong on all of the issues, this is a president who is literally undermining American democracy, trying to move us into an authoritarian society, in addition to being a racist and a sexist and a xenophobe and a homophobe and a religious bigot. So this was an enormously important election, and you guys stood up and you fought back and you won it, helped us win it, and that's great. But I don't have to tell anybody that this victory for Biden and Harris is not the end of our struggle, it is the beginning of the struggle. It's the opportunity that we now have to go forward on all of the issues that we share, and that is making sure that we end bigotry in America, that we have real immigration reform, real criminal justice reform, that we reach out to the working people of this country who are struggling in a way that they have not struggled since the Great Depression, dealing with starvation wages, dealing with folks, 90 million who have no health care or are underinsured, dealing with folks who are unemployed and have literally nothing in the cupboard to feed their kids. So we got to fight for our progressive agenda. We do that by bringing our people together to stand up for justice, whether it's economic justice, whether it's social justice, whether it's racial justice, whether it is environmental justice. So once again, pat yourselves on the back. You guys deserve a lot of credit for what you have done and for making Biden's victory possible. I look forward from the bottom of my heart to continue working with you and other great grassroots organizations. We have made the difference. Let's go forward together. Thank you again.
While a new federal landscape presents opportunities, the past 4 years have set our communities back decades. We will have to fight to make things right and capitalize on next year's possibilities. In 2021, New York City will hold elections to choose a new city council and mayor. We will shape those elections around the issues that matter to our communities, and we will ensure that candidates and then office holders create real solutions. We hope you will join us in that work.
In the past 4 years, we have also staved off some of the administration's worst attacks on immigrants. Our Supreme Court case preserved DACA for 700,000 young immigrants. In New York, we won driver's licenses for all and financial aid for undocumented students in our campaign to keep federal immigration enforcement out of our courts. We will continue to push to ensure that immigrant rights movements works towards a vision that includes us all. We will need to organize like hell to make that vision a reality, but it feels so much more possible than it did a week ago. Please invest in this fight and all our work by taking a moment to donate now. Our final honorees have been incredible allies and inspiration. The recipients of this year's Community Award are Greisa Martinez Rosa, the Executive Director, and Cristina Jimenez, our co-founder of United We Dream. United We Dream empowers immigrant youth to become strong and outspoken leaders, fighting for justice for their communities. Grace and Cristina have fostered the next generation of our movement through their work and led us to victories in so many important fights. I have worked alongside Cristina for decades, dating back to her days as an organizer at Make the Road. Our work has been elevated by her fierce advocacy and deep commitment to young immigrants and their families. Greisa began her journey in this movement as a student organizer in Texas, and she dug deeper into this fight in her years at United We Dream. Today, she is, as she says, unafraid and unashamed, and she pushes United We Dream to hundreds of thousands of members to own the same self-respect. I am honored to present the Community Award to Cristina and Greisa.
Good
Gracias, Javier. Buenas noches, good night, good evening. My name is Grace Martinez Rosas. I am undocumented and unafraid, queer and unashamed, and I'm honored to serve as the Executive Director of United We Dream and United We Dream Action. Mil gracias, Javier, and to all the Make the Road New York team for your love and for this beautiful recognition. It's an honor to work alongside the entire Make the Road New York family for immigrant and racial justice. Together with all of you, we are organizing the power of immigrants and people of color. And guess what? We're winning. These 4 years have been devastating for our communities and have revealed exactly what we need to defeat: white supremacy. And we have helped reveal to the country that the fight for immigrant justice is a racial justice fight. You know, political decisions to create gross inequities in healthcare and community support are killing Black and Brown communities with COVID-19. You all know this all too well in New York City. Earlier this year, New York City was known as the epicenter for COVID-19 cases. And Black and Brown people were getting sick and dying at high rates. Across the country, and as immigrants and Brown people were getting sick and dying at high rates, our people stood up. Our people were in the front lines, keeping us safe, fed, and healthy. We were being treated as disposable, but we were left out of critical financial and healthcare assistance, but we stood up alongside with Make the Road New York. United We Dream and all of our partners are honored to stand with all of you because we know that we've met this moment. We distributed funds through mutual aid to those most in need. And we met the moment to deliver what our communities needed. We are our own protectors. This year, COVID-19 global pandemic brought a triple threat: healthcare, economic, racial crises to the forefront of this country. And yet we know that we can only build a better world by deeply rooting ourselves in our communities, nurturing love for those around us so that we can organize together from a foundation of material security. We are proud to fight for justice with hope and joy in our hearts and know that together with the organizers of Make the Road family, with labor unions, with teachers and parents and directly impacted people, we will win victories which help people without hurting people. I know this because guess what? It's already happened. Make the Road New York with the legal team has been on the front line suing the Trump administration at every single turn as they attempted to add citizenship question to the census, to eliminate DACA, and to attack working class immigrant families through their public charge orders. Their victories at the court have had a meaningful impact on my life, the life of our members of United We Dream, and on immigrant families across the country. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Gracia. And my name is Cristina Jimenez. I'm one of the co-founders of United We Dream, and I am so truly honored for this recognition and this beautiful award that you can see here as the community award that we are here taking on behalf of United We Dream members. I want to extend my congratulations and thanks to the Make the Road New York leadership, all of the membership, for being such champions for a movement for racial and economic justice, always. Muchas felicidades y qué orgullo tener este honor de su liderazgo y de todos los miembros que son poderosos y poderosas de la familia de Make the Road New York. I grew up in Queens, New York, and I learned to organize with the communities and the organizers of Make the Road New York. I remember growing up with so much fear as I grew up post 9/11, fearing that my family could be deported and that my community was targeted. But I have found power and transformation, not only alongside the lines of working with young people and young immigrants, but also with all other working class families of Make the Road New York. Every time I felt a little bit afraid, I will be so inspired by the courage of all of the workers of Make the Road New York. So I am grateful for your courage. I am, because you are. And I was inspired to create United We Dream with other undocumented young people in 2008 because I experienced and witnessed the power and the magic that happens when we organize. The power and the magic that happens when people directly impacted lead and create solutions and change and breakthroughs for our communities. At United We Dream, we say that those closest to the pain are closest to the solution. And the members of Make the Road New York have proven that time after time. That's why I'm so proud to stand with you today. And I celebrate you for all of the work that we've done in the last couple of years. We have received many attacks, but despite the attacks, we've been waking up every day to fight back, defend our communities, and mobilize voters. And this is why we are making history, not only by defeating Trump, but by mobilizing a historic number of people in our communities. As I transition out of United We Dream, it is an honor and a blessing that Graysa Martinez Rosas will continue to lead our movement into its new heights. And I know that United We Dream and our movement will continue to work together with you, Make the Road family, who taught me to fight back, who taught me to organize, who taught me about hope in the midst of uncertainty.
My name is Yaritza Mendez, Associate Director of Organizing, and I'm super excited that both of you are receiving this award this year. To continue the conversation, wanted to ask you both a couple of questions. First, we'll love to hear what have you both learned through the difficult work of the past 4 years that will bring you with that you will bring with you moving forward.
That's a great question, and thank you so much, Yaritza. It's been an honor to walk alongside you these hard, long years. I'll say two things. One is that those closest to the pain are also closest to the solution, the innovations and the breakthroughs. And in a moment where people would have thought that we would have gone to hide and we would have had to rework everything, our community showed up. We took $12 million away from ICE and CBP. We won at the Supreme Court. We grew as a movement, and we made all of these grassroots connections with racial justice, climate justice, economic justice movements. And so that only happens when people that have skin in the game are also showing up. And the second thing is that women are the solution and at the tip of the spear for all of these breakthroughs. And so to see you, Yaritza, and all of the women at Make the Road New York, to walk this road with my sister Cristina and the many women at United We Dream Network, I think it's important for us to be really grounded in our magic, in our ability to deliver real wins for our people, and to be at the tip of the spear for ensuring that we get what we want for our communities.
You know, along those lines, Graysa, I think that the only other thing I would add is that when we organize, we win. And I hope that all of you are chanting, right? When we organize, we win. And I, experienced that through my organizing in Queens and in New York City with the Make the Road family and with the immigrant youth movement in United We Dream. And to look at the powerful work that the members of our movement organizations have achieved. In New York, for example, the historic victories to make sure that the state legislature is changed so that we can win things like driver's licenses. I remember my dad being so excited to be part of the campaign, sharing his story, driving out to Albany with many of the members of Make the Road New York and winning. And that experience, that transformation that comes from a place of fear first, because as undocumented immigrants is real, we live with a lot of fear. But then when you find yourself in a place of community, like the offices of Make the Road New York in Brooklyn or Staten Island or in Queens or in Long Island, that you find yourselves with others and you build community and people get empowered. And that empowered my dad to share his story, to be part of actions, and then to be really proud of have won this campaign of driver's licenses alongside of you. And that took the work of organizing, not only building members and having community meetings, but taking action and mobilizing voters and holding those in power accountable to our communities. So when we organize, we win. This election was another example of that. And I look forward to continue to be fighting with you, building with you, and winning with you.
We wanted to take a moment to honor Javier and Deb, Make the Road's co-executive directors, for all the amazing work they have done for our organization and our movement in the past decade. Last month, they announced that they will be stepping down as co-executive directors as of April 1st, 2021. Jose, Tio, and I are humbled to be stepping into their shoes and grateful for Javier and Deb's support and mentorship. As soon as we're able, we'll gather together in person to give them a proper send-off, one that is worthy of their immense contributions. But tonight, a few friends wanted to share what Javier and Deb have meant to them, and we know they speak for so many of us here.
Good evening. My name is Clara Escubia. I'm one of the co-chairs directors of Make the Road New York. I'm here to say some words about Javier and Deborah.
En mi nombre y a nombre de los miembros del Comité de Trabajadores en Acción, les deseo lo mejor al codirector Javier Valdés y a la abogada Débora. Con la experiencia y capacidad y el gran espíritu de servicio que tienen, van a hacer muchísimo, van a seguir haciendo muchísimo con la sociedad, por la sociedad. Van a seguir luchando por justicia social y van a estar juntos a Make the Road New York. Agradecimientos, vamos a estar en contacto.
Good evening. My name is Clara Escubia. I'm one of the co-chairs directors of Make the Road New York. I'm here to say some words about Javier and Deborah.
En mi nombre y a nombre de los miembros del Comité de Trabajadores en Acción, les deseo lo mejor al codirector Javier Valdés y a la abogada Débora. Con la experiencia y capacidad y el gran espíritu de servicio que tienen, van a hacer muchísimo, van a seguir haciendo muchísimo con la sociedad, por la sociedad. Van a seguir luchando por justicia social y van a estar juntos a Make the Road New York. Agradecimientos, vamos a estar en contacto y algún momento habrá la oportunidad de face to face dar un abrazo de agradecimiento y felicitarles y desearles lo mejor en el futuro. Gracias. La que no puedo olvidarme también es la firma de la ley de robo de salarios. Es algo que se consiguió, que los abogados lucharon, que todos luchamos, que los líderes del proyecto de Trabajadores en Acción, todo lo demás, pero se logró. Y en 10 meses prácticamente salió esta ley.
License. Oh my God. I think it was 10 years or more than 10 years working with that to get the license. And the building that we make it. The building that is for the community. It's going to be made. It's going to be running, and then we're going to have a place for everybody to come over. Our own place. So, in Queens. Oh my God. I'm so happy because that's going to be something like a trophy for everybody to know, to see that they have a place to come and get some help.
Under your leadership, during some of the darkest days in our country's history, you made Make the Road a second home for so many in our city. Regardless of immigration status, race, gender identity, or sexual orientation, you built a community, a place for New Yorkers to go to feel less alone. Your common sense purpose sparked organizing and advocating for progressive policy changes at the local, state, and federal level. Whether by protecting DACA, holding our police officers accountable, expanding tenant protections, to raising the minimum wage to $15 per hour, your legacy is enshrined in these victories for working families. With the defeat of Donald Trump, our country now turns to a new chapter, and you have paved the way for the next generation of leaders to step up and speak out as the fight marches on.
When we stepped down, it was beyond clear that Deb and Javier were the right people to lead the organization. It was a combination of just really, really obvious and extraordinary commitment to the organization's members and its mission and to the work and to building the organization. The fact that they're both really visionaries and they hold all of us, their extended community. So they set their eyes on the prize and then they bring all of us along. I mean, the city is different because of their leadership. I think that's like indisputable. Javier makes up nicknames for all of us and makes sure that he never forgets our birthdays and that we know we're important to him. It's pretty amazing in leaders that achieve so much at that scale.
And that is only possible because the organization under Javier and Deb's leadership is always striking the balance between building community and all that requires, the space, the attention, the food, the music, the laughter, and building power. And they continue to build, make the road, grow, make the road New York, at the same time that they helped grow and nurture sister Make the Roads across the country and model for the new leaders in these other states, the kind of leadership that is grounded in relationships and in like deep, profound love and admiration for people who are ignored in our society and are made invisible every day, and who, when they walk into a Make the Road office or into a Make the Road Zoom, they are beautiful and powerful and radiant. They are seen as beautiful human beings with a lot of possibilities as true leaders. And that's how Deb and Javier have led over the last many years.
Yeah, Javier and Deb both take responsibility for getting the job done without taking the spotlight and without getting confused about who makes decisions that Make the Road, and it's the members that make the decisions. And Javier and Deb have consistently taken responsibility for putting the members' voices and vision and values at the center of the organization. And it's a remarkable achievement over all these years.
Deb has taught me so much about what it means to be a lawyer who is part of the progressive movement, about what it means to be committed to organizing and power building, about how we can spend our careers and our lives in pursuit of justice and dignity. The tremendous growth of Make the Road is a testament to her vision and rigor and energy and excellence. And she has had some great help along the way, from her partner in struggle, Javier Valdez. I don't think that there is anyone in New York politics who is more strategic, or brilliant, or good-looking than Javier. What a fantastic duo the two of you have been. Congratulations on this tremendous achievement. Congratulations on this fantastic transition of leadership to a new generation. And thank you both for what you have given me, given to this organization, and given to the immigrant communities of New York and America.
Thank you. That was far too sweet. Leading this organization for the past decade has been the honor of our lives. And I have to just say to Javier for a second, like, you're so extraordinary and so grateful to be on this path with you. We'll treasure you forever. The beautiful people who have surrounded us, who have become our family, who have laughed and persisted through every moment that seemed impossible, who have believed in the best of us and each other, who have interrupted hatred and oppression with chants and hard work and amazing karaoke. Those people are you and our members, and we love you. We are so grateful for your trust and your support. Among you, though, are three people who stand out, even in this crowd of superstars. They come from our base and for over 15 years have had our backs. They have done the deep and tireless and unsexy work of uniting and building this beautiful organization. They sing really badly and tell awful jokes, but they are determined and smart as hell and are so clearly the right leaders to guide Make the Road into the next decade. We are thrilled to pass the reins of this organization to Arlenis Morel, Jose Lopez, and Theo Oshiro.
We are so proud of what we have accomplished together. To Deb, my partner in crime, thank you. It's been an honor to work alongside you. We have won dozens of historic victories that impact the lives of millions and shape the future of this nation. Major policy transformation in worker rights, voting rights, immigrant rights, rights for transgender, nonconforming, queer New Yorkers, and so much more. We've expanded to Long Island, Westchester. We tripled our budget and our membership. Most importantly, we helped launch our sister organizations in 4 states, including Pennsylvania and Nevada, where our people worked tirelessly to mobilize millions of voters and had a decisive impact in this election. So please give them some love. And at this very moment, we're building this 24,000 square foot structure that is rising in the heart of Queens, a new Make the Road Community Center and a beacon of hope, where future generations of leaders will thrive thanks to the generosity of our here to stay champions. There's so much more to be done in our day-to-day work and in our bold vision for the future. But I am so proud and so happy to know that Arlenis, Jose, and Theo will be ready. Make the Road is very lucky to have them. So we ask you to support them to help lead Make the Road New York forward. With you by your side, we know that we can meet whatever the future holds. You have shown us this time and time again over the last 4 years, especially this year. So please, if you haven't already, take a moment now to donate. Support the new leadership that's going to come in 2021 and do as generously as you can. And then stay, enjoy our amazing DJ Callie Torres, who will be playing for another 15 minutes. Thank you all for your continued support and for joining us tonight. Good night y buenas noches.
Hey, folks, just a reminder, join us for the after party. You can see the link on the bottom of the screen. We hope to see you there. Once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight.